the higher powers if they would just spare a drink. Did they answer my cries? I was a bit preoccupied.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Perry with Premier Guitar. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee with Murdered by Death today, which is so stoked for the show. This is awesome. Very excited to be here.
Us too.
They ran into a little bit of traffic on the way here, so we don't have a whole lot of time, but Matt was cool enough to be able to walk us through all the gear and get to it. So let's start with this badass.
Okay,
this is awesome.
This is my newest guy. This is my electrical guitar company bass, and has 2 humbuckers in it, and then just tone, master volume, and pickup blend. And the whole thing's aluminum.
Out of curiosity, was Ken Andrews an influence in buying this guitar? I noticed you were wearing a failure shirt, and he had one of those too.
I had actually already ordered this before he got his.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it took me about 2 years to get it because people like that started getting interested in like Mastodon, and I think Foo Fighters have some of their stuff now, so it was sort of like, kind of got bumped down the list a little bit, but it finally showed up.
Out of curiosity, does it sound completely different than another bass, or does it?
Not as much as you'd think.
Really?
But this one is tuned down 2 full steps to C standard, so like Queens of the Stone Age tuning basically.
Totally.
So it's kind of Thud City.
Awesome.
But
very, very cool design, man. I think that's so neat.
I like it too, and it feels really good. Like if you were just to hold it, it feels like it would be super heavy.
Oh, wow.
When you put
I
it on,
totally imagined that it'd be much heavier.
But the balance is so good that you don't really feel that.
It's not like an SG where it's like falling over
yeah,
or something.
It does not do that.
Gotcha. Man, that is too cool for school.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it was worth the wait.
How long did you have to wait for that, out of curiosity?
2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that was quite
Yeah, but he also like was moving the factory and had twins and was blowing up at the same time, so it was kind of like
a lot going on.
Everyone I've talked to that has one said it took way longer to get than they were told it was going to, but when they got it, they weren't upset.
They were stoked. That's cool. Yeah.
So this guy, it's just Epiphone Jack Casady bass. This one's everything is down 1 step to D standard, and I bought this from my buddy's dad, who bought it from a session player named Bryan Beller, who, when Dethklok goes on tour, plays bass.
Wow.
So I have one of Murderface's old basses.
That's really, really cool.
And then this guy I just got a couple of years ago, and this belonged to the bass player of the first band who ever got us an out-of-town gig in like 2001
sentimental
or 2.
value going on?
Yeah, he's a Chicago guy, and he put a thing up on Facebook, said, "Hey, Chicago guys, anybody want to buy this jazz bass?" And I said, "I'm going to be there next week. Sell that to me." And he was like, "Sold."
Killer.
And it's great. It's my first jazz. I used to use Ps a lot. I mean, I still do. But with as much low end and stuff as we have going on in the band, it's good to have a little bit more of that kind of grindy, pop through kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing for basses on this run.
All right, cool. Tell me about this guy.
So this is Adam's E guitar.
For E standard?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple little variations here and there, but like that's why we each play like 3 or 4 nights.
Because you have so many tunings, right?
Right.
You guys are covering a lot of bases.
Yeah. So this is the E guitar, and I don't know a whole lot about it. It was just like Fender contacted our management at the time and said, "Do you have any lefties? We have this thing lying around." And they said, "Yeah, we got a lefty." And so he's had this for quite a while.
It's like a T shape with a humbucker. Neat.
Yeah.
And then, is he a Scorpio? What's up with the Scorpion?
It just came in there? It just came that way, and it kind of fit the whole like desert aesthetic thing that we were doing at the time. And then you have your, your basic Prince telly.
Yep.
And this is for C standard.
Oh, cool.
And the that Takamine acoustic over there is also in C standard. And then
is that for slide playing? Like
there is a slide song, but it's either in that open slide tuning or it's just C.
Just C, sure.
And then this Gretsch is the D standard guitar.
Very cool.
Nothing crazy about it, just kind of off the rack, like no mods or anything. But we did a bunch of touring with Reverend Horton Heat, and
got sold on that.
After a while, it was sort of like, I think I need a Gretsch in my life. So that's what happened.
Since you're going through everybody's gear, I guess we'll just walk through amps now.
Yeah.
Let's start with your stuff.
Okay, so I've had this for a little over a year. It's the 1,000-watt Terror bass, orange, and I love it.
1,000 watts.
I haven't been able to utilize a lot of those watts, but
looks a little easier to carry than like an SVT Pro.
Yeah, it was just, I got to a point where I dreaded moving my head more than I dreaded moving my cabinet. And I wasn't happy with my Ampeg stuff anymore, and Orange is nice enough to help me out, and it's really simple and powerful and light, and it's great.
Got enough tonal diversity for all your sounds?
Yeah, you can dial things in, but I mean, sometimes you just do everything at noon, and it's just like, it's what you sound like,
good.
just louder.
That's great, yeah.
Which is what I want.
And then what's this Old Crow cab here? This is cool.
So this Canadian company, Old Crow, contacted me and said, we'd like to build you a cabinet. And I said, well, I would like a new 412, because it did 810s forever, but again, with like as much stuff as we have going on, stuff was getting kind of too muddy and boomy and stuff. And I found that the 412 combo works really well for how I do it.
What speakers you got in it?
I don't remember.
Cool.
I know they're not Eminence speakers. I think they might actually be like Jensen's or something. But I think it's rated for 1,000 watts all in, I think.
Cool. Well, yeah, it sounded fun and sound check sounded really cool.
Yeah, well, we get to see some more of that later.
Yeah.
And then Adam just has this deluxe reverb that he's had forever. Took all the Tolex off and stained it. We all did that for a while, but we have some different stuff since then. But he's just stuck with this.
Cool. Any mods or anything done to it? Or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think we might have replaced the speaker at some point, but nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy, cool.
He's not much of a tinkerer with that kind of stuff.
And so that's for his electrics. As far as acoustic, is it just into the DI?
Yeah, the acoustic
Cool.
just goes to DI. I can walk you through that on the board.
Yeah, killer, cool.
Okay.
Now
so,
over here.
Yeah, so this is Sarah's cello amp. It's just the like the TV 15. It doesn't get mic'd or anything. It's just for stage.
Just for
monitoring.
Monitoring purposes.
Yeah.
Does her pickup run to a DI or something as well?
Yes.
Or? Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
and I'll get you through that too.
Cool.
Actually, we can do that right now because it's right here.
All right. Yeah. Oh,
So-
nice.
Yeah. So our cello setup is pretty simple.
Let's see if we can show the camera here, but
Yeah, it's just a tuner, a boost, an overdrive, the Holy Grail reverb, and then that all goes into this radial.
and that's just for cello.
Yeah,
Killer.
and that goes to front of house. And this is just to move air.
Yeah. Gotcha.
This might be trickier to see. So
We'll get some still images for everybody. I know
Yeah.
the stage is kind of an odd setup today, but
yeah, well, we're kind of pushed back and stuff. But
right.
so our guy over here does keys, steel, mandolin, and trumpet, which is down there somewhere.
Busy dude.
Yeah, he's well, there's some nights he does banjo also.
So is he running? Oh boy. Is he running everything through his pedals, or just the
I'm not
Mando?
entirely sure how the thing. I think the tone bone is like kind of EQ and a DI for the mandolin.
Sure.
And the EQ is, I think, for the mandolin too. There's the Mastotron that he uses on the steel, and I think everything is able to be routed through that Strymon Flint tremolo reverb guy.
Very cool.
And he's got that Supermoon reverb on there.
So he's kind of got all of his bases covered on just this one board.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. He's a busy dude, but yeah, and he sings too. So we're putting him through his paces
talents.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Cool. Well, I guess that it leaves us with pedals.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So this is a bunch of bass pedals. I like that
Yeah.
you're playing around here. This is and some guitar pedals in here too.
Yeah.
That you're running bass stuff through.
I
that
love pedals.
That's fun.
I do.
All right. Let's talk about signal chain. Love that you got a switcher because it's obvious.
Yeah,
that
I should have done that years before I did.
You were dancing for a while, huh?
I did a lot of dancing and replugging in and stuff. So it's just a bypass switcher made by Road Rage.
Cool.
So bass goes in here and comes out to amp, and then this you just like leave everything turned on and bring it
Control
in
it,
and
sure.
out of the chain with these switches. So everything's just like right there. And if something's wrong, like you hit that and it's bad, just take it out of the chain.
I love that you have things color coded as well. Do you have a method to that madness? Like, is it like?
I just found a roll of electrical tape and was just sort of like,
So it's not like modulation is one color and
no.
overdrive is
It
another
was just to
color?
correspond, just like to
To
look
the
at
pedal.
it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So first is just a full tone OCD. It's like a little bit of boost and grind kind of stuff. These two are made by a company called Fuzzrocious out of New Jersey, and the husband builds them and the wife paints them, or you can have their kids paint them for you. So it's a total family operation.
Really cool.
And they've become really good friends, and it's great stuff. So there's a rat copy that's like a little gainier than the OCD, and then the Gray Stash is just like a Big Muff copy, but both of them like don't drop the low end out, which is great. And then next in line is this pitch shifter, and I have it so like when you hold it down once, it like hold it down, it bends it up 1 octave.
Cool.
And then this 2-speed tremolo is GHS dual honeycomb.
Yeah, dual.
Yeah, so you can do 2 different speeds.
Very cool.
Then the Pog 2, which I use for organ sounds and some kind of like sub-octave swell stuff, which happens a lot in the set, well, for a couple of things. And then I have this reverb delay and carbon copy on the same switch. A lot of times
turns them both on at the same time?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Usually if I'm doing delay, it's like usually that and probably the pitch shifter thing too, just doing like high, fast, kind of atmospheric
Cool,
stuff.
noisy stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And then this EQ is just always on to kind of just bring everything back up to where it should be after running through all this stuff.
Dropping signal throughout this, sure.
Yeah, and then the looper, I just have different like little ambient kind of droney stuff that come in and out.
Like between songs and stuff?
During songs.
Yeah, no kidding. Cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, man.
Yeah, there's like Lost River does that swelly thing, but then there's also a loop on here that goes through most of it.
It's a nice palette of stuff to play with.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Very, very cool. All right, let's look at some of the other boards.
Okay, so this is Adam's board, our guitar player, and he keeps it pretty simple. Boss blues driver and the bassman pedal, just kind of different flavors of gain. Standard tremolo. Tends to leave the pickup booster on, I think, pretty much all the time.
Is that like a clean boost or something? Or
It's a little gainy, but not a ton. It's
Gotcha.
enough to kind of get the amp happening.
make the amp work a little bit?
Yeah,
Cool.
without having to crank it up as loud as you would have to otherwise. The Holy Grail and Memory Toy are new since we made our newest record. We just got a little bit more kind of G-whizzy on some of the songs. So, I mean, there's some reverb on the amp, but then the Holy Grail kind of kicks it into more like kind of washy kind of thing.
Stuff, yeah.
And then, you know, just some delay for solos and stuff.
Is he running reverb on that amp at
There's
all?
some, yeah, there's some.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Not a ton.
And so you can just wash it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Very, very cool.
And then the last trick is the line selector. If it's one way, it goes to the amp, and if it's not, it goes to this DI for the acoustic guitar.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He doesn't like to have to think about it too much. Just sort of like be louder or
singing
echo.
and playing and dealing with this.
That's
yeah, it's got to be tricky. Well, hey man, thank you so much
Absolutely,
for taking the
man.
time to walk us through all this
Pleasure.
stuff. I know you guys are pressed for time, but thanks so much for watching, guys. This is Perry with Premier Guitar. Stay tuned for other rig rundowns, review demos, all that fun stuff. See you guys around.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.